The Tri-State's #1 hit music station. It is the Knack.
That's
Good
right.
morning, Tri-State, and a very happy Tuesday to you.
Yeah, happy Tuesday, y'all. That was Shabuzi with good news. You just heard before that Paul Russell, Little Boo Thang.
Lil Boo Thang. So we have a couple of guests in the
Yes,
studio
we
with us
do.
this morning. We have Dustin and Rich of Roof Savers. Of course, Rich being the owner. Dustin is the operations manager at Roof Savers.
Now,
Yeah.
it used to be called something else, right?
Yes, it was Heat Guard today.
Okay, it was Heat Guard. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, awesome.
So you guys basically save roofs.
That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
pretty self-explanatory there.
So we don't have to go through a whole replacement. You
Yeah.
can actually save them.
Absolutely. We were Heat Guard today for, 15 years.
Right,
And
I
we
do remember that.
We did a lot of commercial industrial work all through Havasu, came in, et cetera, Bullhead City, Fort Mojave.
Mm-hmm.
And we found that there was a market in the residential side where we could help save, you and people like you and me lots of money on their shingle roofs.
And we need
Right.
it. And
Yeah.
we
Right.
need it, especially with our weather we got going on.
Yeah, these micro bursts, and if they're strong enough to knock over a power line, they're strong enough to tear off your roof.
I mean, our weather is changing, so I don't know if it's a haboo or an actual tornado type situation.
Right? I know. And people automatically go, oh, we need to get the roof replaced.
Yeah,
You know?
something.
Well, and that's absolutely the metric out there. Most people think, oh, my roof's leaking, we need to tear it off, we need to get something new. And of course, that's not the case whatsoever. What we specialize in is what's called shingle saver, which
Okay.
is basically a shingle coating. It's a clear acrylic. So a little different from what the other guys use. You see a lot of guys using like soybean oil and things like that.
Oh.
We're not here to make your shingle flexible and just look nice. We're here to make it sure that it's water resistant, wind resistant, antifungal, which is kind of amazing as well.
Yeah.
It increases the strength of the bonding between the shingles. So when you have that wind that's coming through, you don't have the issues that you see,
Right.
especially if they're not
Like just
adhered.
recently we had.
Yeah.
Exactly. And of course, I do want to say our company is associated with Spec Guard, which makes the product.
Okay.
And everything's made in the USA, which is something we're very proud of.
Very cool. I
Now,
love that.
Please forgive my ignorance. Shingle, when you say shingle, what is that? Is that a specific type of roof or?
Well, everyone knows it's an asphalt shingle.
Oh, the flat one.
Well, not a flat roof. It's on your residence. Basically your homes.
Oh.
There's different types of shingles. There's your 3-tab or architectural, or people call them dimensional shingles. But after about 10 years or so, you have to start thinking about maintaining that roof. What we're
Right.
talking about is making what's called a monolithic adhesive coating. So what that does is it brings everything together. It doesn't make your shingles flexible. You don't want them to be flexible.
Right, right.
Imagine the wind we had yesterday and shingles flapping in the wind.
Yeah, no.
And so competitors out there are putting oil on roofs. That's the last thing you want to do. And by the way, anyone knows that oil is a solvent. So why put a solvent on asphalt, as you know? This is why 10 out of 10 roofers really would not recommend putting oil on a roof. Of
Right.
course not. But
Right.
what we do is the ideal cure for an aging roof.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's why we would go to you, because half of that was a foreign language to me. But I'm not in the business, so
But you know
I don't
what?
have to know what that means.
But you know what? As a homeowner, don't get me wrong. Even though I don't need to necessarily understand it, all I know is I need to go to
Right.
professionals
That's it.
who can make sure it lasts.
Well, to all the
That's exactly
listeners,
it.
I could just say this. Replacement bad, restoration good.
Right.
So,
Hey, replacement expensive, restoration
not expensive.
Yes,
That's cool that you guys
came.
came up, or someone came up with some sort of way of preserving instead of having to replace just because a little portion of my roof went off.
Right.
Yes, and one of the things that's really nice about, we are general contractors, so we can do everything, and what we do with our pricing, it's all inclusive.
Okay.
Which, I think a lot of, I don't like using the term bait and switch, but a lot of times there is bait and switch, especially in the construction industry. I hate to say that. But when we tell you what a price is, we're going to go out there. Let's say you have a couple bundles of shingles missing. We're going to replace those. If your flashings around your ventilation is bad, we're going to make sure that's sealed properly. Let's say that for whatever reason you have a recover on your, people will do 2 layers of shingles on a property. We'll make sure that those are mechanically fastened correctly before we even do our shingle saver treatment.
Okay.
And like I said, we're not here to, again, tell you one thing and do something else. We're here to give you peace of mind and potentially save you thousands of dollars on an unnecessary roof replacement.
Well, I
That is a
don't know
relief to hear.
who scheduled this interview, but talk about at the perfect moment and the perfect time, especially with all of the incidents that happened during the storm in our community alone.
That's right.
You know, I've got friends, posting on Facebook right now of the stuff that's happened to their roof alone.
Yeah, it's,
–
we've been involved in the commercial industrial side for so long, and we see a lot of the same things happen to these giant commercial properties that happen to residential. And the fact that we're able to save companies like,
Right.
the Sterilite Corporation, for example, we've done work for the Bullhead City Fire Department, Cal Ranch, we did that roof. The fact that we're able to save them tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Right.
why can't we do the same thing for the residential market?
That is a great question,
Yeah.
Dustin. Great question.
And that's kind of what we're doing. And plus, with football season starting, we have to remember that we're going to be
Here we
betting
go.
we're going to be betting so much money on the teams we love, and they're going to lose. And I know we have a Raiders fan here, and I'm a Vikings fan, which God forbid.
How you say Raiders and lose at the same time?
How did
Season's
I know
young.
he was going to squeeze football in this conversation
That's all right.
one way?
That's all right. It's a new
But you
season.
got a
I'm
point,
hopeful
though.
every
You got a
year.
point.
Well, and I got to say, I know my new fiance is listening right now, so if I didn't mention the Vikings at least once, I know she'd get mad at me.
So
All right,
there you
all
go.
right.
That
Do
was
what you
for
gotta do,
That was
Dustin.
for
Do
you,
what you gotta
fiance. That's awesome.
Group Savers Services, you guys. That's definitely the ones you want to talk about, get to know them, and find out what kind of estimate you can get. I mean, you never know whether or not they're going to be perfect for you. You got to find out. You got to do the work.
Roof Savers, how do we get a hold of you?
Well, of course, you can visit our website at roofsaverservices.com
Okay.
or give us a phone call 928-768-8440. Again, 928-768-8440. You'll more than likely be talking to me or my assistant Trish in the office
Okay.
or Rich himself.
All right.
Of course, Rich is such a big man in this town. You never know if you're going to be able to get a hold of him or not.
That's all right. That's all right. He knows what he's talking about. Talk those language again for us next time because
Yeah.
you know exactly what you're talking about.
Well,
I
good
believe
thing-
every word you said.
I didn't go to school for that. I don't know.
I was going to say, I'm the one that has the face for radio, so it works
Sounded
out.
legit, though. It sounded legit.
Definitely got a voice for it, Dustin.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
appreciate you guys coming in. We appreciate you guys giving us the lowdown when it comes down to the roofs. That's for sure. Especially right now, what's going on in our community. All right?
I mean, every year we deal with some sort of wind storm, right? So you guys are in the right place for business, for
We
sure.
needed it.
Absolutely.
Check it out, roofsaverservices.com for more information. You could also give them a call. You guys on Facebook?
We are on Facebook.
There you go. Check them out on Facebook. Everybody has Facebook these days, so that makes it easy as well. Check them out on Facebook. Roof Saver Services.
Yeah, I also do want to say just real quick, we are going to be giving out some free shirts. We have a bunch of new merchandise that just came in. So
Nice.
for any free estimates that we do, and again, I do want to quote that, it is a free estimate.
Okay.
We'll be
Oh,
giving
thank
out
you.
a free shirt with the estimate. So
Wow, double
something
free.
Something I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to shout out to my girl, Roxanne. It's a free estimate, girl, because she was part of that whole roof thingy that happened this past weekend. So just
Free
wanna head her
estimate.
up.
Get yourself a free t-shirt, too. Dustin and Rich, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Guys, if you need your roof saved
Yes.
or
Roof
looked at,
savers.
if you're getting kind of weary about your roof, definitely call Roof Savers. Check them out, roofsaverservices.com. Again, Dustin, Rich, thanks so much for joining us this
Hey,
morning,
guys, thank you.
fellas.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on. And like I said, go Vikings.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
We're going to get,
Get it in while you can, Dustin.
Loke gets upset. It's getting crazy in here. 12 minutes past 9, Chapel Roan, Pink Pony Club.